folks can understand us a little better, we'll put these down. And so I'm sure many of you hopefully had a good Memorial Day weekend. And of course, it was a different kind of Memorial Day weekend, as every day is different than it was last year. But also a wonderful time to reflect on those who have given the ultimate sacrifice for the freedoms that we enjoy. And I think now, during this time of pandemic too, we remember a couple of things. Number one, that not to take these freedoms for granted in general. And number two, we've been through tough times, a lot tougher than this. And so we're going to get through this and be just fine in the end. So with that, I'm sure many of you have questions on what to do in terms of how our city is reopening, on how to keep you and your families safe, on what's going on with the coronavirus, and also what the future holds for both city services and all things that happen in our Duke City and in, of course, New Mexico. So we know it's an important reminder that we're currently under the Phase 1 health order from the state. And that order does allow certain things. It does require face masks in public. There is an exception if you're exercising or if you're eating or drinking, or public communications and internal meetings such as this. Now, also, though, we want to remind folks that we got to Phase 1 because we've done such a good job. And so our town, especially the metro area, has a very low spread rate, relatively speaking. That's a great thing for us. And so we've got to continue to sort of earn it, so to speak. So we want to earn Phase 2. And we can do that by continuing staying at home, social distancing, wearing our masks when appropriate, washing hands, and so forth. So it's not a time for us to let up. It's a time for us to kind of keep going all together so we can continue to demonstrate this great progress. And so with that, I think we're going to go ahead and transition to get to as many of your questions as we can. And also a reminder, we'll be back with our general sort of updates tomorrow at 11:30.
Thank you, Mayor. Hope you had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend as well. And
it was great.
This is awesome to be able to start taking questions right from the public again, because we thought this would be a good way to start the short week to answer some questions from folks. So the first one comes from Frank from Heritage Heights. His question is, because of the number of people who are asymptomatic, what is the city and state doing to provide antibody testing?
This is a good question. I got a lot of these over the weekend even. I went to the volcanoes this weekend. By the way, great West Side open space. Amazingly cool this weekend, temperature-wise. So, normally, you don't necessarily want to go to the volcanoes in the middle of July. I mean, let's be honest. So, anyway, it was great. And I got asked this question, actually. Just a gentleman in the parking lot was asking me about this. So, first off, I want to mention that there's a lot of unknown science around antibodies and so forth. So, I mean, it's okay to go and get tested, but, how helpful it is and this kind of thing. I mean, I would really ask a legal expert or research a legal expert. But in terms of getting the tested, they are available here in Albuquerque. And so the Department of Health is the primary coordinator for testing and tracing. And so, but there's a few places like Duke City Urgent Care, Next Care Urgent Care, Southwest Labs. They're offering different types of antibody testing right now, and you can make an appointment for those. And so right here in the city, of course, we are testing our first responders. So our sort of test case for testing is our first responders, so at least we know who has antibodies and who doesn't. Again, we don't necessarily know how effective or not that is, but might as well go ahead and get the testing if you're interested in that. And again, it's good. It's going to be good to know going forward one way or the other. So those are the three areas you can get it right now.
Now, we've been seeing a lot of this around parades happening for graduates, celebrating in sort of off ways that we haven't seen in the past. This question comes from Aaliyah at Del Norte High School. She wants to know if there's any possibility of having a graduation ceremony for the class of 2020.
Well, Aaliyah, thanks for your question. And, I was out there handing out actually some of those cap and gowns at Del Norte. We were both out there last week. And so just as a shout outs to the Knights, my public school cred was the pre-K program at Del Norte. So anyway, look, it's really tough. And I just want to kind of give you as direct answer as I can. One, an official ceremony and so forth would obviously have to be organized by your high school. And that's something that may be a possibility kind of at the end of the summer. So we'll see if there's interest in that, depending on where we're at from a health perspective. in the meantime, of course, participate in the virtual graduation. Families are allowed to get together, so that's always important too. And what I would suggest is, one thing you could do is plan a graduation celebration with friends and family for like middle July or the end of July, with the assumption being that at least gatherings of 30 or something like that will be allowed. So you can at least have that kind of ceremony, and it'll also give you something to do. So that's something I know a lot of people are sort of looking forward to, and if all goes well, I think that'll be fine in July. And if there's anything official, I would really check in with your high school. It's going to be up to them to make that decision.
Now, we know recently you were talking about reopening plans in phase 1 and what that might look like for some of our facilities. And this question is specifically around libraries and when libraries will begin to be reopening, and also to just get reserved books that you have maybe reserved online or otherwise.
Libraries are so much to our community, and those who use them understand whether it's story time hour that our kids are at, or it's actually checking out libraries, or it's using those computers, which are very popular. So what we're doing is we've mapped out the details of this, and you can check out our website, cabq.gov, for this. But the good news is we believe we're going to be able to open libraries the first week of June, so it should be next week. Now, as with all our city reopenings, we're doing it in a way that's consistent with the state public health order. So much like when you go into a retail store, you're going to be limited in capacity. The computers aren't going to be available. There's just too much touching. But you are going to be able to check out books. And so that's a great thing. And so stay tuned for that next week, actually. And as we go into further phases, we'll again gradually open the libraries more. And I do just want to thank our libraries crew, because a lot of other cities around the country and around the state, they're not able to financially, or just because it's complicated, open libraries. We believe we're going to be able to do this for the Metro, and that's a great thing. So I'm glad that we're going to be able to do that. And again, there might be some screening also on the way in. There'll certainly be a sign-in sheet for contact tracing. So it'll operate much like some of our small retailers.
That's great. And what a huge sigh of relief for some of those folks who don't have access to some of these resources. So it's a lifeline to a lot of people.
Absolutely.
So we have another question from Dave from the West Side. We know there's been a huge economic impact because of the closures on some small businesses. He'd like to know if you know how many businesses have closed because of the stay-at-home orders and the closures.
Dave, good question. And this one, in terms of the specific numbers, I don't have a number readily available, but I'll kind of explain a couple of data points that might be helpful. One is that we put out a micro loan program for businesses, just 5 people and smaller. And actually, it wasn't a loan program, it was just a grant program. We just gave these businesses $5,000 of emergency money so that they wouldn't have to close forever. That program, we were only able to afford 140 of those grants. But we know in 3 days, actually, 10,000 applied. Sorry, 1,400. And so 1,400 was the word I was looking for. And so we know, and that was only in 3 days, and that's only people who'd heard of it. So we know that this challenge is huge. But we also know that there's the federal program for larger businesses, the loan program that's hopefully forgivable. And I think that lasts at least another week, if not longer. And we know there's some other programs that the state's getting into. So the answer to your question is, hopefully, we're not at a point where businesses are making that permanently closed decision. I mean, I believe hundreds already have. But in a city or a city as big as Albuquerque, that's not a huge percentage. So we're hoping folks can just hang on long enough to get back up and running. But I know a lot of that is dependent on these federal programs and so forth. And just if you happen to be interested in data and things, our data is 6 weeks trailing. So like the most recent economic data I have is from March. So I will be able to answer your question directly at the end of June for at least half of May.
All right, switching gears a little bit, this question comes from Carmelita. She has a question around resources available around what's open and what's not for the ADA community. Is there a place that they can go to see what's open and not?
The best thing you can do, depending on your disability, is probably call 311. Again, that assumes that you're able to do that, but give that a shot or use the 311 app. But in general, the city facilities are mostly, not all, mostly ADA compliant. So you are going to be able to get access to the transit system, which is opening back up in a larger scale mid-June, libraries next week, and the other city facilities we do have, again, in accordance with the public health order in June, you're going to see even things like the zoo and other different things opening in a limited capacity, but those will be ADA compliant. Now, in terms of services, you could look, there are some resources on our website, cabq.gov. And also, I would contact our Office of Civil Rights, so call 311 and ask them. That's part of our Office of Equity and Inclusion, and they can probably give you a specific answer for different things that you're looking for. Also, reminder, there are 4 locations, one in each quadrant, and that's where you can go that is very ADA compliant, and they have language translators as well. These are our emergency service sites, the public health and social service centers run by the city. That's kind of a place of last resort, and you can find those, either call 311 or look them up on the website, and they'll be able to answer your questions further.
Now, I know the team has been doing an excellent job of trying to get the most up-to-date information on the website and to the 311 folks, and also in multiple languages, so that's been great. Next question is from Kevin. He says, this pandemic has caused financial strain for New Mexico and the city. Do you have a projected shortfall to date, and will there be a tax increase to make up for it?
Thanks for your question, Kevin. And a couple of things on this. One is we do have some good financial projections. We are haircutting them drastically, even though haircuts aren't allowed. That's probably not the best analogy to use right now. We're trying to use a very conservative approach. And here's what we're showing. We had about almost a $30 million deficit just to get us through the end of the year. Now, we cut $10 million out of the budget already. So now that deficit is down to about $20 million. And we do know that this federal chunk of money that we got, the CARES Act that the city of Albuquerque got, is going to be able to cover that deficit. So the good news is, through July 1, the city is in good shape, and we don't have to do any furloughs or anything like that. We do have a limited hiring freeze on right now as well, so we're continuing to sort of tighten our belt because we're preparing for what we believe is a $50 to $60 million deficit for next year. And remember, the city operates from July to July. So, but we got also CARES money for next year. So right now we're in the process of lining those two things up. And so we'll be ready to make those decisions. But again, we're hoping a combination of cost cutting, which we're already doing, and that federal money is going to get us through next year. Now, after next year, I mean, all bets are off. Who knows? Because our tax revenue right now is down. We know businesses are closing, being hurt. That also hurts them, but of course it hurts the GRT that we use to fund the city. But I think the good news is we've got a clear runway to July, and then after July we're optimistic because of this federal funding. And after that we're in the same boat as everyone else. But I will tell you, if we did not have that federal funding, like other cities around us, we would already be doing layoffs and furloughs. So fortunately we haven't had to do that yet, and hopefully that's going to lift up all our city. That's even spending city employees who can spend at businesses and feed their families as well.
Such an important.
Oh, and taxes. You asked about taxes.
Yes.
So I have no intention of raising taxes. So that's where the city's at. If the disaster happens and there's something, 18 months from now, we'll talk about it, of course. Nothing's ruled out, but we have no plans, nothing in the works for that right now.
Thank you for that. We've had so many people asking us this question on social media, and frankly, just about everywhere we go. And it's around masks and how we are enforcing the mask requirement.
Sure. So we are doing, first at the city, we try and demonstrate good policies that others can mimic. And I think in the next day or so, we'll have our city mask policy out. And it basically says that you need to wear your mask at all times other than at your workstation, or if you're at 6 feet apart in a meeting where you have to do a lot of talking. So I think we're trying to work on that here. So, and again, we want everyone in different meetings, but like sometimes there's personal interaction. So that's how we're managing that. And so I think also exercise is exempt. But in general, look, if you're close to anyone, make sure you're wearing a mask. And if you're out in public, make sure you're wearing a mask unless it's exercise. I mean, these are just good rules of thumb. Now, in terms of enforcement, APD is focused on violent crime, and so they're not really involved in enforcement. they will maybe ask you or remind you or educate you in certain situations. But that's really not what their focus is at all right now. We're also trying to make masks available as much as possible. So again, with 6,000 employees, we're trying to make sure we got that taken care of for the city, but we're also listing all sorts of places you can get masks that are locally made. So check out our website for that. And also, again, you can get them locally, and we're encouraging basically everyone, if they can, any business, to offer them to people when they come in.
Also important to note to not call 911 if you have to report someone who's not wearing a mask. We really need to reserve that for emergency situations. So
that's right, yeah.
This question just came in from Terry, and then it was also previously asked by Karen, and it's, can you give more information about youth sports? Karen's son plays baseball, and they're receiving some mixed information about practices and games.
Mm-hmm. So, Karen and Terry, great question. And this is one where the city is going to, again, we're working on like the facilities. So in a social distanced way that's consistent with the state public health orders, we want to make our facilities available. So, you know, for example, can your kids go out and throw the baseball to each other at a park? The answer is yes. Try and wash your hands, try and stay apart, don't work with other families. And it's the same with the football or whatever, you know, so it's okay to have fun during Corona. It's also a good idea to get outside, but you got to respect those rules. Now, more specifically with respect to like little leagues and softball leagues and so forth, right now there is a state health order, and it's based on the number of 5. So, you know, again, you kind of got to work through this, but if you're wearing masks, or I guess not because it's exercise, but if you're doing social distance and this kind of thing, and there's only 5 of you, you know, presumably you could do some drills and practice. But obviously it's 9 to play a game plus a batter, that'd be 10, so you can't do it. And so that's just the state order. That's just where we're at right now. And again, those come down from the state. Now, what we're going to do is, if the state order changes, we'll be ready at the city to adapt accordingly. Now, there is an interesting other layer to this, which I think your question speaks to, which is the leagues. Leagues are also making their own decisions, which are often more restrictive. So a lot of little leagues have just canceled. A lot of youth softball leagues have just canceled. And so you have to check with both, right? You're going to have to see, is this okay in New Mexico? Then is it legal in Albuquerque? And then is the league actually sanctioning it? And so I know that's super complicated, but just know that obviously if the National Little League Association cancels Little League, the city is not going to have Little League either. So these are just the realities right now, but we're taking our cues from the state on their guidance, and then obviously from the leagues. And but again, the facilities and so forth, that's why I think you might have heard something about practicing. Check with your Little League, that's the first answer. But in terms of going to a park and throwing the baseball, that's totally permissible right now, again, if you take care of those other aspects like social distancing and staying in groups less than 5.
You know, there's a lot of questions centered around what you can do this summer, how you can be active, what you can do to get outside, keep the kids entertained. And this question is no different in that Karen and Diane both want to know when city pools will reopen.
Karen and Diane, good one. And I will tell you that we are ready to open the pools, not to the public, but on a reservation-only basis. And we're going to start taking those reservations the second week of June. So around June 6th, we're going to start doing this. Now, we do need the state to kind of bless that. So we'll see when it comes to June 6th if they have or not. But we're going to be ready and plan for it so that if it's okay, we'll be doing that. And so again, basically you can reserve your lap time. And I think with respect to other pool activities, all of that we've actually thought through and mapped out based on CDC guidelines. So we will follow the guidelines and we will be ready, and we're waiting for sort of the flag to fall at the state level, and I think we'll hear in the next 2 weeks guidance on that. And so I'm optimistic that in a limited, again, reservation fashion, pools will be open. Now, like general public usage, nothing until July at least.
So the reservations will be for lap swimming, basically?
Yeah, lap swimming. I mean, technically you're reserving a lane, so you don't necessarily have to lap swim if you just want to go hang out in a pool
just
in
go
your
and
lane.
float in the lane?
You know, you can.
Yeah.
And I think family units are permissible in that situation. So again, look to the pools for those guidelines. But yeah, until July, that kind of just, wonderful summer where the pools are just open to everyone. I don't know if it's going to happen this summer, and it certainly won't happen before July.
Thank you for that, Mayor. Next question is from Eric in the Northeast Heights, and then we also had one come in from David. Will bus service increase to align with reopening so that people can get to and from work more easily? And I know you sort of touched on this just a minute ago, but if you'd like to elaborate on that.
Yeah, so buses and transit are one, here again, our city, and you can even, by the way, you can read all of this. We have a plan on reopening. So if you're really interested and bored at home, you can read this. And the links on our social media accounts and so forth. But in this plan, here's how transit works. So transit has the workers are part of one of our wonderful hardworking unions, AFSCME, and part of that collective bargaining agreement is you have to bid on like your routes. And I'm only mentioning this so you know why it takes us a little while to like recoup the transit system. I think it's like a 2-week bid system. So they're going through their bid process now so that and actually probably June 1st, so that then we can increase the transit routes and so forth in the middle of June. So the game plan, the answer is yes. In the middle of June, we're going to start expanding our transit system. That also includes the ART route. So that should be well timed with businesses opening and so forth. In the meantime, because I know actually right now there's a lot of people asking for transit. In the meantime, we're using this helper bus methodology. So what you'll see is we're using the Saturday route plan, but you never have to worry about not enough room on the bus because we're doing social distancing on the bus. But we have another bus coming right behind it. So it's actually working quite well. But again, I know there's limited routes. But we're going to have to do that for another 2 weeks while we get the bids set up so that the drivers know their routes and so forth. So good news is transit will be up and running in a much, much bigger way, middle of June. In the meantime, we have an enhanced Saturday schedule, as it's called.
Great. I know many folks have been really grateful for continuing to have transit up and running because it is an equity issue. People still need to get around to grocery stores and otherwise.
Yeah.
So it's been very helpful.
And I see folks at the stops. I mean, we used to ride the ART a lot, my family and I, so we haven't been riding it as much, but I see you out there. Like the bus stops on Central are packed. Mm-hmm. And so at least we have enough buses to accommodate that.
Yeah, it's been really helpful. You and I are around the same age, Mayor, I'll say that. And I remember when we were younger, there were a lot of public education campaigns about swimming in the river and staying away from arroyos and ditches. Ditches are deadly, stay away. But we're seeing a lot of people going back out to the river and swimming because pools are closed. Do you have any guidance around a plan to raise awareness, again, around this kind of safety like we saw when we were younger?
Yeah, so boy, I remember all those programs, and I had like a record that was no doubt like a PSA, like somehow we got it, and it was the story of La Llorona. And
yes.
Ditches are deadly, and it was funny, but it was like a record, and I'd play it around Halloween.
But it really worked
That's
because
great.
I was pretty terrified about going anywhere near them for a while.
Yeah. So a couple of things. I mean, as a reminder, like don't swim in the ditches. Number one, they're also like usually pretty dirty. Like it's even different than the river. Like the ditches, not good, and you need a serious hose down after them. So anyway, don't swim in the ditches, and of course, there is limited recreation in a safe way that you would with a brisk river. You can go in the Rio Grande, and so that's something we always try to educate folks around. But you got to remember, it's a swift-flowing river. It is not a pond. And so every year we have the Open Space Patrol out educating, literally saving lives. I know there was at least one, if not two, if not more, that loved lives we saved in the Rio Grande last year because people took for granted the fact that that's a swift-moving river. So you absolutely should have a life jacket, and you should know what you're doing, and you should never go in there and mix alcohol and things of this nature. So know that about the Rio Grande. Stay out of the ditches. And I think the other thing is, now there are a lot of entities that help with this. So the good news is compared to when we were kids, Mafka's on the ball. So like, you know, we all know you see those clouds, get out of the arroyos and so forth. And our fire team is in a much better place for that. There's also the Middle Rio Grande Conservancy. They now do some patrols and so forth. They're much, much more active out in the Bosque and so forth. So I think the good news is there's a lot of people out there, and I think a lot of us are just better educated on that. But it is going to be irrigation season and so forth, so stay out of the ditches. And I think conversely, enjoy open space. There is tons of shaded bosque area that you can all go in. And there's also the foothills out in the Manzanos. There's also out on the west side, you've got the petroglyphs and you have the volcanoes. There is lots of room for us to spread out. It's one of the great things about Albuquerque, and we have fought to keep those open. And people have done a good job social distancing so that we can do that. And lastly, I would just mention too, there's always the East Mountains. The city actually has great locations in the Manzanos that you can go enjoy. Also back right near Ale Republic, right in the heart of Cedar Crest. You can go for an awesome hike and spread out over there, and out near Golden, and in Placitas. So you've got lots of great places to go, and because they're city facilities, we have kept them open for you to use and enjoy.
Great tips. So we've heard a lot about this notion of contact tracing, and you even mentioned it as how we're going to undergo some contact tracing methodologies as we reopen some of our facilities and our programming. So this person wanted to know how someone can become a contact tracer, and if there's somewhere on the city website that we can find this information.
So contact tracing is a very new dynamic for most of us, and I just want to take a minute to explain it. It is basically this notion that, you know, if you or I were to test positive, we've got to know who also we were in rooms with or might have come into contact with. And so to do that, you know, there's different technologies that are being deployed, but there's been kind of mixed results with those. There is that aspect, which we may see being used throughout America or not. There's also the manual way, which is just interviewing people. And that's really what these contact tracers do. So, you know, I would say, well, I did this program with Alicia, and there were some folks helping out with audio-visual. And then they would then go talk to you and say, well, then who are you in contact after? And you can kind of map this out. And then all it means is those people are just say, hey, you were exposed. You should probably go get tested. And then you get tested, and if no one's positive, it's fine. Then you just move on. But if you are, then you go through those kind of protocols. So that's what it's all about. And to do this, we need lots of people. So the state is running this, the Department of Health, and they're hiring 200 to 250 people to help with this. And work is all being done remote, and hiring is virtual. And you can do that through the state personnel office at spo.state.nm.us. And so it's a great thing for folks to get involved with, and a big help to the community.
Absolutely. So I think we're just about out of time. We got through as many questions as we possibly could, and I so appreciate you taking the time. Folks really appreciate being able to send their questions in and hearing answers directly from you. So with that, I'll let you close, Mayor.
All right. Well, Albuquerque, let me just say that first off, it was a good Memorial Day weekend. I mentioned that at the beginning from a substance perspective about what Memorial Day is all about, but I also just want to thank everyone. You know, we had a relatively safe and healthy Memorial Day weekend in the Duke City, and as always in a city as big as ours, there's always crime and there's always drag racing and things like this, but actually, all things considered, we once again did a really good job in these tough times, and so I want to thank everyone for that. And I also want to let folks know that if you have further questions, you've got really 3 quick things. Check out our website, it's abq.gov, call 311, and also, you know, one thing you can do is just look on the social media and in our platform, scan through the different announcements we've had and so forth. Now, with that, I think I just want to remind folks that hang in there on phase 1. Let's keep doing a good job, and hopefully the state's going to allow us to move into phase 2. And that'll mean some great things like a haircut, which I need, and you know, restaurants opening and things of that nature. Again, all in limited fashion. So it's still going to be different. It's not going to be the same, but we want to keep moving forward, and that's what your city is ready to do. So with that, we will talk to you next time. And tomorrow, again, we'll be back with a kind of a catch-up on a number of smaller items coming out of the long weekend and going into the rest of the week. Thanks so much.